Hello YouTube, this is Stefan from Holland again. As I mentioned in the earlier video about the survival knives, there's a difference between survival and bushcraft. Survival for me means getting out of a bad situation because it's life-threatening, and bushcraft is getting into a situation because you really like it. So I do require different knives for both tasks. So let's talk about my bushcraft knives for a bit. Of course, still again, the Mora. It's really great for kitchen work, wood carving, etc, etc. But maybe not so good for batoning. It's a good slicer though, but I really like a thicker spine for heavy use. Of course, I couldn't resist the Spyderco bushcraft knife. The handle not stabilized. I did some work on it, still have to polish the handle, but it's a really nice knife. It's about 3.5mm thick spine, 01 steel. I've seen people use it because this one is just for my collection. I've seen people use it and it seems to be a really good cutter. Also comes with a very good sheet to carry the knife. Just recently I purchased Enzo Stretch from Finland. This one is D2 steel. It's also 3.5mm thick, and it's got a wild olive handle. I really like this one. It's a dangler sheet, and I already explained that I like the dangler sheets. So I think I'm going to order some more Enzo. The only thing I miss is the lanyard hole, just for use when you're on the water in a canoe or whatever, because I normally don't use a lanyard, but just when I'm in snowy conditions or watery conditions. So I ordered also a blank in 01 steel with orange G10 scales, but of course I have to build it myself for the rest, so there will be a lanyard hole in that one. Well, you probably know the BCWC, Bushcraft Northwest, now BCWC 1 model. It's 4mm thick, 01 steel. It's a rather good bushcrafter. I more tend to see this as a Mora on steroids. A big, comfortable handle, good grip, no finger guard whatsoever, because I don't like finger guards or too much finger guard. I think you should be able to control your knife without this. So it's a nice one. It's a bamboo handle, and you've probably seen some tests of this knife on the internet, on YouTube. Also comes with good leather for carrying. Then my normal bushcraft user is this one. It's 4mm thick 01 steel. The blade was made by Garland in the UK, and some Dutch guy I know, he made a wooden handle for it. And of course I reshaped the wooden handle because I want to make it for my hand, for my feeling. And this is the knife I normally use bushcrafting. Of course together with the Mora, because I won't leave the Mora at home. I always take it with me, more for kitchen, and this one more for the wood carving, wood splitting, etc. The more heavier tasks. Of course all these are Scandi grind knives. And also by Garland, a woody clone. This one is 5mm thick. It's a very nice handle also, very sturdy knife. Got a patina on it. Just one disappointment. The sheet, well made sheet by the way, is for left-handers, and I'm right-handed. So I have to find a solution for this one, probably have another sheet made, or keep this one just in my collection. Oh, by the way, the sheet for the one I'm using is also a very tight fit. Also a dangler system and a loop for the fire steel. And the big fire steel, it will fit very tight, won't lose it. So it's a very good one, this one. It's a nice user. Okay, the last one I purchased is the only one that's not Scandi grind, but a flat grind with a secondary bevel. I bought it, it's made by a Dutch guy called Sander. It's a special steel, I forgot about the name. What I really like is the very thick spine of 6 millimeters. I purchased it as a neck knife, but it's a bit too heavy for around your neck, I guess. So I really have to find a meaning for this knife, other than, of course, my collection. So why do I choose this Scandi grind instead of the convex? As I told you, the F1, very good, very sturdy knife, convex grind. A bit more difficult to shape in the field, well, at least for me. And with the Scandi grind you have a certain angle. If you have just a stone or maybe a pebble or whatever, especially the O1 steel, you can sharpen it on anything actually. It doesn't matter if you are putting a secondary bevel on it, because it's easy to do, to make a secondary bevel, and then when you're at home and you have all your sharpening equipment with you, you can restyle it to a full Scandi grind. With the convex grind it's more difficult, because if you lose the angle it's very difficult to sharpen. So for bushcraft, Scandi grind, thick spine, heavy knife, and for survival, the Falkeneven convex grind. So I hope you enjoyed. Of course, any comments are welcome, any requests are welcome also. Okay, bye bye from Holland.